Hey everybody, this is ManuFracture, brand strategist and founder of ManuFracture. Here today with another episode of Ambitions of an Agency. Today I'll talk about starting from absolute zero, or that you're not actually starting from absolute zero. This is the interesting thing. So past few 6 months I documented in my other failure video, I've been working with this client, and I've been trying to build my brand up to this sort of person who can do work with real estate companies and all this type of stuff, but it didn't work out as well as I thought it was, and but not all is wasted. Not all is wasted because, and this is the key part, you don't need to define yourself from the past, and you don't need to define yourself from all this stuff. What I've learned is that you can really reposition yourself pretty quickly, and all you're doing is starting the timer down to the next thing. Like, how long did it take me to get momentum with real estate brokers? Like, it took me at least, I'd say, maybe 3 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks, depending, and you can increase that by, like I showed you before, increasing the numbers game, increasing the amount of people you get in contact with. And don't really need to reinvent everything from scratch. My mentor was telling me this, is that you need to just go in and fix, it's like the car engine. You gotta go fix the main foundation first, and everything else works. You already know how the wheels work, you already know how the messaging works, you know how to make content, you know how to, talk to people on the phone, you know all this stuff, but you need to fix the foundation. Everything will crumble if the foundation is not in order. And this is regards to like what you're passionate about, what's the valuable problem you solve, and how you're going to solve it. And those are the three things. And making sure that you never deviate from that three things. And I had talked about before that I was like, oh, I should just go for the money, right? The money's good, but there's only money in solving a valuable problem for something. So if you cannot find a valuable problem to solve, then there is no money in anything. Point being, you go into real estate hoping there's a lot of money, or it's like a $10 billion industry, or whatever you want to fucking call it. And if there is no problem that you can solve, or you don't want to solve that problem, then there's no point in going to an industry like that. So it's like, even when you see in Shark Tanks, like when entrepreneurs come and try to pitch their product to somebody, and they're like, oh, it's a $50 billion industry, it's a $20 billion industry, Damon John, or whatever the fuck his name is, right? And it's like, doesn't matter. Like, what are you solving in that market? What are you doing? Have you validated that there is a need for your service in that market, right? So I have to start back from zero in this case, that I have to do all the work again, the market research, the positioning, the content, all that stuff. I need to do that. But I first need to start with the valuable problem, and just getting back into conversations, starting from square one with research calls, just like I did beforehand with brokers, just the same exact thing. So I know what to do. I have all my pieces in place. I have my game plan, so to say. I just need to start over, do it right this time, do it with the right type of people. And right now I am targeting, trying to target education companies, because I have a huge deep-seated passion for education and changing the education system as a whole. So I think that is going to work out really well for me if I learn to actually, and this is one of the niches I actually wanted to do beforehand, but I fell into the trap saying, oh, it's not like a $50 billion industry, so I should do it. It's like, no, like, if you have to you find the valuable problem in the industry, and then you go into it. It's not how much money is made in the industry. It doesn't matter. So I'm going to see how that works out. I'm going to keep documenting that as well. So really, I guess the thing is like, sometimes you'll feel like you're starting back from zero, but it's not the case. Everything that you've done is an effort that puts you and builds you up to the next step, right? Entrepreneurship is like this. It's like, oh, I learned this thing, then I went down. Then I learned this thing, then I went down. Then I learned this thing, then I went down, right? Because there's always one thing that you didn't know, or you didn't put in place correctly, to actually succeed in whatever it is that you're doing. So for example, like, and I'm talking about my way past failures. Like, first, $5,000, wasting $5,000 on a lawyer when I had no clients, right? Shit, I don't have any clients. Boom, that was a shitty, business, right? That was a shitty agency business. and then go up again. Okay, let's try again. Boom, let's try something else. Let's target a niche, right? Niching. Woo, yeah, that's great. But I don't have a demand for the niche. I didn't do market validation for the niche. So poof, it went down. Then I talked to people who are in the niche, but are agency owners in the niche, and then used their information, but that was already secondary information, to make my assumption of which niche I should go to, which was real estate. And so I went there, failed again because I didn't know how to track clients, and I was using a baseless assumption of some people or secondary opinions that I've heard from agency owners who are working in the similar niche. And then the next one was I went into real estate, got myself a mentor, learned about lead generation and how to build content and how to talk to people on sales calls and all this type of stuff. And I learned really well how to do that. And then I figured out, found a client, but then I didn't know how to deal with that client, and I didn't have enough passion to succeed, and I left the passion part out of the whole thing because I was focused on the $15 billion sort of trap, so to say. It's like, oh yeah, that's a good industry to go in because there's a lot of money, right? Boom, fell down again. Now I have all the components. I know how to get a client, what do I need to do to solve the problem, who to talk to, how do I get people in contact with me so I can get them on the phone. And now, I'm not gonna put any expectations up because I don't want to put expectations up. If I put expectations up, it'll kill me. But at least I have a better idea of where I'm going with this now. And I have all the stuff that I need to do to get there. I don't have any problems with knowing how to message people or find the problem or all this stuff. I know how to do all that crap. I just need to do it for a different industry, different time period, different industry, different niche, and based off my passions now. And we'll see where it goes. Thing is, beforehand, I would say in all my agency videos, it's like, yeah, I'm gonna do this. Like, yeah. It's like this really weirdly unbridled optimism. But you have to have a more grounded optimism in business to really succeed, right? You can't go with the ups and downs. You cannot be really high up with the ups, and you can't really be down with the lows. You gotta be in the middle. So that's what I'm saying. Just we'll see where it goes. I trust the process. I trust what I'm doing, and that's it for today's episode of Ambitions of an Agency. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.